Hello students, now continuing our discussion on fuel cells. In this discussion we shall look into the molten carbonate fuel cell. So as you see, it is like we have seen the earlier fuel cell. This also fuel cell contains a anode and hydrogen gas is supplied through the anode. Not necessarily hydrogen. Here you can have methane gas or ammonia gas. You can use either of these. And you have got cathode and we supply oxygen, that is, we can supply air also. And then there is the electrolyte is the molten carbonate, that is the electrolyte you can see in the center between these two cathode and anode. And what is generated is water and heat goes out, and this CO2 which is generated continues the cycle. The anode reactions are carbonate plus hydrogen, means this hydrogen what we are supplying at the anode, which will result in water plus CO2 formation plus electrons, 2 electrons. Okay, this CO2 will travel to the CO2 will react with the oxygen at the cathode reaction along with electrons and produce carbonate. And the overall reaction what we will get is hydrogen plus half oxygen will produce water. So ultimately like any other fuel cell, this hydrogen and oxygen react to produce electricity, heat and water, and we are using electricity to run the vehicles or to generate, to supply electricity to industries. So the molten carbonate fuel cell uses a molten carbonate as a electrolyte. It has a potential to be fueled with carbon derived fuel gases, coal derived fuel gases such as methane or natural gas. These fuel cells can work up to 60% efficiency. So in the molten carbonate fuel cells, negative ions travel through the electrolyte to the anode, where they combine with hydrogen to generate water and electrons. MCFCs, molten carbonate fuel cells, are currently being developed for natural gas and coal-based power plants, for electrical utility, industrial and military applications. The MCFCs are high temperature fuel cells that use an electrolyte composed of molten carbonate salt mixture suspended in a porous, chemically inert ceramic lithium aluminum oxide matrix. Since they operate at extremely high temperatures of 650 degrees and above, non-precious metals can be used as a catalyst at the anode as well as cathode, reducing the costs. Because the catalyst, platinum and all, which are used as catalyst in other fuel cells, they are expensive. See, here in the molten carbonate fuel cells, we can use coal derived gases like methane and natural gas. So we don't require pure hydrogen here. Okay, so they don't require, otherwise when you want to have a pure hydrogen means you should have an external reformer. But here this doesn't require an external reformer, it will do internally only. So because of the high temperatures at which they operate, the fuels are converted into hydrogen within the fuel cell itself, and this process is called as internal reforming, which also reduces the cost. Although they are more resistant to impurities than other fuel cell types, scientists are looking for ways to make MCFCs resistant to enough to impurities from coal such as sulfur and particulates. So particulate matters and sulfur are the impurities which can cause problems to the fuel cell. The problem they cause is the life reduces, the durability reduces. And the high temperature at these cells operate the corrosive electrolyte used to accelerate component breakdown and corrosion. So because of high temperatures and the high temperatures like 650 degrees centigrade operating temperature, as well as this molten carbonate as a electrolyte, it leads to corrosion and breakdown. So it reduces the life of the cell. So research is going on to make this to overcome the shortcomings of these fuel cells, molten carbonate fuel cells, so that we can improve the life and performance of the fuel cells.